Hi, my name's Scott Novis, and I want to help you learn how to use ChatGPT. This is targeted for business owners. A lot of questions that come up going, what are some things I could do to get started or get my team started? The best thing I can do is give you a real world example of how I use it. So, this is one application. This is 10x my productivity in creating blog posts, and the same process your team could use as well. There are tools like Jasper that do this professionally, but if you just want to start playing with it yourself, here's the thing you can do. It used to take me 4 or 5 hours to create a single blog post. I'd write it a couple times, I'd run it through Grammarly or Lang Tool. Sometimes I'd have ChatGPT redo it, then I'd go in and edit it, and and some of it was just time. Like I'd need more time away from it. So now what I do is this. Step one is I have what you'll need to duplicate what I'm doing is Otter.ai and ChatGPT. Free subscription to Otter works just fine. You're going to want a paid subscription to ChatGPT. And I use Obsidian. So my thing is this is going to show you how it works in Obsidian. And I've got videos that show you how to set up an Obsidian vault that use the plugin ChatGPT MD. I'll have links to all this stuff in the notes. So here's what I do. Walking the dog in the morning, grab my phone, Otter.ai app is installed, pull out my AirPods, pop it in, and then I talk. And here's the deal. You speak about 120 to 150 words a minute on average. So if you speak for 5 to 8 minutes, you're going to end up with 600 or 700 words of raw content on the topic. But here's the beauty. It'll be in your voice for real. So I can record 3 or 4 of these during a 40-minute walk of my dog. When I get back to my desk, I will log into otter.ai, the website. That's what you're looking at now. And what you'll see is if you go to the home, the blog posts from that day. They show up as notes. I relabel them. You can log in. And here's just a giant block of text. I'll then export that block of text. Don't show speaker names, don't combine, don't show timestamps. Just give me the raw text. And when I hit export, it's going to save it on my hard drive in a text file. I usually dump them in my downloads folder, and it'll give it, it'll just go ahead and give it the name, otter.ai.text, and you can go find that file. And what I then do is I jump over to Obsidian. And in my Obsidian spare brain or second brain, if you want to call it that, my vault, I can then create. I have a template called Copywriter that I use with ChatGPT MD. I'm going to make a new chat from a template, and I'm going to use Copywriter. And so this first line, this thing between the dashes, is called the front matter. And this is the instructions to tell ChatGPT how to behave. I'm going to replace this little please review and edit some text with something a little different. I want it to, and this prompt is important. I'll try to put the text in the description. Tell it to describe my writing. So you only need to do this once. What I'm showing you how to do is create a template to instruct ChatGPT how to write in your voice. And I tested this. I did some research on, there's different ways to figure out how to do this. This produced the writing that was most like my writing style. And how I did that is I tried 3 different techniques. I then produced the same blog post out of the same content, and I had people that know me read them, and it was night and day. They're all like, that one sounds like you. So this is the process that produced the writing that is most similar to my writing voice and writing style. Then what I do is I paste in a blog post that I wrote through my old process that got a lot of traction. A lot of people liked it. And so now what I'm basically asking ChatGPT to do is characterize my writing. And so I'm going to ask it to chat. And now you're going to get this. It is analyzing the writing. This thing is going to become a new prompt. I'm going to take that prompt, I'm going to copy it, and I have created another file called Doppelganger. And in this tone, and this one I'll probably have to give you a link for it, is it's a little more structured, is the same kind of thing. Vocabulary, sentence structure, but there's this big thing up here where I'm telling it, you're a ghostwriter. You're replicating my tone and voice. I'm giving it all these instructions. So I'll share this file with you. I'll give you a link off of Google Drive so you can get this. I'll just delete my version of it. You can paste your own in here. And now what I'm going to do is to take advantage of how I write a blog post, I'm going to do a new from template. I'm going to say doppelganger. Boom, it grabs that template, drops it in. And now what I can do is take the text from that otter.ai transcript, paste it in here, and then tell it to chat. And what it's going to do is it gives me the title. It tells me the word length. It's about 638 words. It then goes through and literally generates a blog post that when I shared this with friends, they're like, boy, that just sounds exactly like you. The next step I can take, and here's the thing, the spelling is correct. The grammar is mostly correct. Sometimes I bend grammar for poetic purposes, and I let ChatGPT know that. So there's like some stuff that I do that's more colloquial. But I can also then go into that and say, please generate 3 social media posts for this blog article. And similar thing, tell it to chat, and voila. It's now giving me, taking the article and creating the content. I now have all the pieces I need to use to turn that into a blog post. And the next step that I have that I can do in a separate video is I'll use Midjourney. And there's a technique in Midjourney to give it a style that is kind of what I like to use consistently. And then I'll have Midjourney create images for each one of these things, an image for the main article, an image for each of the social media ones. And so now I have all of the assets, and then I can schedule the blog, the post to go up on my website, scottnovus.com. And then I use Otter. There's a, not Otter, Buffer, my apologies. There's a ton of, you can use Hootsuite, I think Post Hero, there's a ton of these things. But basically, in a day, I can schedule out a month worth of articles and social media posts. So that's an example of using AI to create content in my voice on topics I'm interested in. And it is a huge time saver. And so that's one example of using AI to accelerate my business and my process. If you're concerned about content being AI generated, I can tell you that, remember, I'm dictating this into Otter. So it's starting with a block of my original text, my ideas, my thoughts put together my way. And all I'm really asking the AI to do is maintain that voice and generate coherent, grammatically correct, spell checked content at a target word length using that source. Massive time saver. So I hope that example helps give you an understanding about some of the things you can do with AI.